Are you really for freedom of speech and against censorship?
Hey guys, before I get into today's video, here's a shout out for this video's sponsor. When the shit hits the fan and the power goes out, one of the things you're going to need is an ultra bright flashlight and a power bank to charge your devices. This is the indoor-outdoor light bug work light. It's got a solar panel to turn sunlight into storable, usable energy, or you can charge it with a regular wall outlet. The adjustable bracket allows you to hang it, hold it in your hand, or get the perfect light angle on a table. It comes in handy for car repair, fishing, hunting, and camping. And check this out. I fully charged this thing, turned it on, and left it on the counter, and it shined for over 5 hours. Grab a couple of them for family and friends. Your link is in the description. I posted this up on my Twitter feed today because it's truly disturbing, and I want to ask you a question. Are you for free speech? Are you really, really for free speech? Are you for or against tyranny? Are you for or against censorship? Because all this kind of goes hand in hand. If you don't have freedom of speech, that means somebody out there wants to censor you. They want to cut off your tongue. They want to cut off the ears of people who want to listen to you, and they want to basically curtail your freedom. They want to infringe on your freedom. So either you're for freedom of speech or you're not. Either you're against censorship or you're not. And if freedom of speech is anything, it's freedom to say things that other people might find objectionable, offensive, and maybe even disgusting. But if you're for freedom of speech, you're for dangerous freedom, because people can say some really stupid things. People can say some dangerous things. But if you're for freedom of speech, you realize, hey, it's way better to have dangerous freedom than peaceful slavery, because peaceful slavery devolves very, very quickly into tyranny. If you have the freedom of speech and I have the freedom of speech, that means even people who we disagree with have freedom of speech, or there is no freedom of speech. So when I saw this video, and this is a clip taken from the Trump rally from January 15th in Florence, Arizona. And there was one lady over here who decided, you know, she ain't going along with this Trump thing. She's got a Biden shirt on, a pro-Biden shirt. She's got a sign that says Trump lost Arizona. But doesn't she have the freedom to do that? And I want to start out this video with, of course we don't know the whole story. All we know is what we see on this video right here. There could be some background to this where she was doing some really bad stuff, like hitting people. That wouldn't be acceptable if she was out there hitting people or screaming in people's faces or issuing threats. I didn't see that in this video. If she did that, I'm against that, and we should all be, because that's not how you conduct the affairs of your life on this planet and expect that not to come back on you. If you do to others what you would want done to you, that's the golden rule. All right? So I tweeted out, let me get this straight. Trump supporters who claim to be for the First Amendment and freedom steal this woman's sign, and we're going to see that in a second. And the crowd applauds as she's arrested for having a different opinion. Then I said, where's Michael Picard when you need him? We're going to show an example. If you're not familiar with Michael Picard and his work, I'm going to show you real quick here in a couple minutes. But let me play this video, and we'll take a look at this. Does this woman have the right to be a dissenting voice in a sea of Trump supporters? And let me say this before I start this video. I am not for Joe Biden. I'm not for the ideology that it looks like this woman is promoting, and I'm not for the cultish ideology of the people on the right. I'm not for, I don't understand a man wearing another man's name on his shirt. Go Trump. We're going to see some examples of this. Anybody who's engaged in politics has to know what politics is. It's the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Let's watch this video. Gets her sign stolen from Uncle Sam. How appropriate. Then she does the wrong thing. Okay, so now here's two wrongs right here. So she gets her sign stolen, and then she steals a sign from this vendor right here. So she did wrong right there, but she was also wronged. That doesn't make her wrong right, because two wrongs don't make a right. I'm not for the guy stealing her sign. I'm not for people getting up in her face and spitting on her and yelling, "Go back, commie." You know, I'm not for her stealing this sign. This is not what we're talking about. It doesn't look to me, from the video that I've seen, the 2-minute and 20-second video that we're about to look at, it doesn't seem to me that she was doing anything but holding a sign that people disagreed with and wearing a shirt that people disagree with. So Uncle Sam steals her sign, and then she does a bad deed by stealing a vendor sign.
I have a ticket, asshole!
Go ahead, you got it.
You got it!
Do it!
Do it!
So she's saying she has a ticket to the event. There's a limit of 2 tickets per person.
I can do that.
This is ironic. It's ironic that a liberal, and I'm going to assume she's liberal because of her shirt and what she's saying, and it looks like she's all caught up in the left versus right paradigm lie. Just like everybody in the crowd is caught up with their right paradigm lie, but she's saying First Amendment right. Now, the irony here is that Trump supporters do claim to be for the First Amendment and for freedom, and she's the one who's having her freedom to say what she wants to say as a dissenting voice in a sea of Trump supporters. It's being curtailed.
I'm gonna fucking punch you. That's a threat. That's a threat. That's a threat. Stop threatening people, lady. I got bail money.
Here we go. Calling for state power to come down on this woman because she has a different opinion. Here we go. Here comes the power of the state. Sheriff's Department shows up. Hands go behind the back. Handcuffs go on. The crowd applauds.
Leave alone.
Another irony. In the crowd, they're going, "Get out of here, you communist," as they applaud something that communists would do. We got to get rid of people who disagree with us. That's what communists do, guys. And they're telling her to get out of here, communist. She might be a communist, but they're basically calling for communist actions to come down upon her because they disagree with what she has to say. Yeah, Oblitofactor says in the chat room, there's always one what? There's always one. And he says, there's always one what? One, I don't like the word citizen, but one person trying to be free while 1,000 try to enslave them. That's what you got here. You've got the call for state power to silence the voice of somebody that they disagree with. Are you for freedom of speech? This is the question I asked when I first started this video. Are you for freedom of speech and are you against censorship, or is it the other way around? Are you against freedom of speech and for censorship? Because that's what this is. Trump supporters called for the censorship of this woman because they disagreed with her message. And I want to highlight something because somebody wrote something under this video that I posted on Twitter. One Big Life says, "Dude, who cares?" And I said, almost nobody does. And that's the problem. Free speech and freedom in general doesn't really matter to people. And it doesn't. And then he illustrates my point right here. He says, people do Well, no, not in this video. Those people did not care about freedom or the freedom of speech of this woman. And therefore, by extension, they shouldn't care about their freedom of speech and their freedom to say whatever they want to, and their hatred for censorship when censorship comes their way and somebody tries to valve off their freedom of speech. He says people do, not in this video. I bet there's more video of what happened here. Probably. But is it right to suspend freedom of speech? People are like, well, this is a private event. Well, she had a ticket. It looked like she was actually outside of the event where all the vendors' tents were on the fringes there. It's not like she was in the midst of where Trump was talking, you know, causing a fuss. She had a sign and a shirt that they didn't like. There's bigger things to be worried about than a deranged Biden supporter trying to stir up trouble at a Trump rally. What about the deranged Trump supporters who are trying to extinguish freedom of speech? Is that something we should be worried about? And that's exactly what she was doing. Unhinged leftist, mad that thousands showed up, red wave 2022. And then I just said, your comment proves that this is one of the biggest things to be concerned about. And he says, okay, Brian, go ahead and make a video about it then. I won't be watching. This is exactly why we talk about these things. This is the result. Red Wave 2022. I don't know what that is exactly, but let's say that what One Big Life is saying here is, hey, we need Team Red on board so that they can change everything. Well, if Team Red was going to change anything and it was really going to make a difference, like, for example, when you're stacking the Supreme Court with Chief Justice, conservative, Republican John Roberts, and John Roberts says, yeah, well, let's see. I got the deciding vote on Obamacare. All right, let's do Obamacare. Let's go ahead and do it. The only reason we have Obamacare is the deciding vote was John Roberts. Now we have a federal mandate on all medical employees to bow down at the altar of Jabbo because of John Roberts and because of Justice Kavanaugh, who's a Trump appointee. So if it really mattered, Team Red or Team Blue, by the way, Team Red is the warmongering team. And Team Blue is also the warmongering team, but is also the entitlement team. They're all out there wasting your money and trampling your rights. Every single one of them. So when I see somebody saying red wave and they say we have bigger things to worry about, actually, this is one of the biggest things. This is one of the biggest things that we should be concerned about. And that's the left versus right paradigm lie that locks people into the mentality of it's okay to be a slave as long as you're on the donkey team or the elephant team. This is perfectly illustrating the point here. And in case you didn't know who Michael Picard was, he likes to go and be a disruptor at Trump rallies. It's quite humorous, but what I think is interesting is the psychological lesson that we can learn from these Trump supporters who, again, claim to be for freedom and for the First Amendment and against censorship, giving this guy a hard time just because he has an opinion that they disagree with.
These people are supporters.
You're harassing us by dragging a flag on the ground and saying all pigs matter. People take great offense when you have a sign that says all pigs matter.
Hey, he's stepping on the flag! Don't step on the flag! I'm filming this fuckhead! Yo, you're a douchebag! Yo, get the fuck out of here!
Where's the mask?
All pigs matter.
Where's your mask?
All pigs matter.
Where's your mask?
What?
That's another thing that's very interesting about these Trump supporters. Remember when it was in full swing, wear your ritualistic shame muzzle? Guess what? When they attended a Trump rally, they all did. And then they condemned other people for retaining their right to be free not to wear ritualistic shame muzzles. So it's almost like they're walking around as slaves trying to tell you how free you can be on the land of the free, home of the brave, when it's really land of the free, home of the slave.
Mask.
A mask?
A mask.
A mask?
You need a mask to be here.
What?
Charlie Baker says you need a mask.
What?
Where's your mask?
He's trolling you.
Where's your mask?
I didn't hear you.
Where's your mask? I'm trying to listen. Do you mind quiet it down so I can listen?
He's trying to listen.
Don't feed the troll.
Feed the troll. I'm trying to listen to what he has to say.
On day one,
Just go over there. Why do you have to do
you said you were going to reinstate the rule of law in the station. When you occupied the Oval Office.
How ironic. Trump 2020 make liberals cry again, and they cannot stand somebody being there that has a different opinion than them. So it's very important to be talking about this kind of stuff. Here's some of the stuff that happened at the rally yesterday. Some of the stuff that was said.
Let's save America. Who won the election? We are here, we are gathered with our fellow patriots who believe in faith, family, and freedom, who are never going to stop, right? We are never going to stop. We are never going to stop fighting for what's right.
You've already stopped fighting for what is right the moment you got involved in politics. When you stepped your foot in the arena of politics, you've already lost the fight, because politics and freedom are not synonymous. Politics is slavery. Politics is deception. Politics is lies. It's emotionalism. It's coercion. It's not freedom. When you're on Team Red or Team Blue, you're not changing anything. Like Stalin or one of those leaders said, it doesn't matter who the people vote for. Every vote is a vote for us. And it's true. When you vote for Trump, you vote for the bankers and the corporate elite. When you voted for Biden, you voted for the bankers and the corporate elite. How do we know? Because when they get into the office, they do the exact same things. They start writing all these checks to their corporate and bankster overlords. $6.2 trillion from Trump in one signature. He did more damage with that one signature than Obama could do in 5 years, 5.5 years. Matter of fact, Trump being in office for 4 years wasted more tax cattle money, filled the coffers of the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, Boeing, Northrop, all the defense contractors than Obama could do in 8. Trump did more economic damage in 4 years. Think about it. More real economic damage in 4 years than Obama could do in 8 years. And you thought things were going to change? Why are we experiencing inflation right now? Because the checks that Biden was writing under stimulus and the checks that Trump was writing under stimulus. You cannot create money. You cannot continue to dilute the money supply, which devalues the dollars that each and every one of us holds and works for, and expect there not to be inflationary problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Trump-endorsed candidate for governor of the great state of Arizona, Kari Lake.
Greatest endorsement of all the politics. You know, in my time covering Arizona, 27 years, I never saw things as good as they were when we had President Trump at the helm. We had a secure border, strong economy, and safe streets. But my goodness, has everything just flipped on its head? You don't...
Let's call Trump who he calls himself, okay? The father of the VAXX. I don't even think I'm going to call him Donald J. Trump anymore. 45th President of the United States. He's the father of the VAXX. He called himself that on Maria Bartiromo's broadcast on Fox News. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have Operation Warp Speed, which is what? Operation Ram Pfizer down your throat. That's what Trump brought you. Military-industrial complex got a big boost from Donald Trump. When the military-industrial complex that we were warned about from Eisenhower decades and decades ago gets a financial boost from President Donald J. Trump or any president, Clinton, Reagan, Bush, Nixon, it doesn't matter. They're not your friend. They're not in your corner. They're in the corner of the military-industrial complex, the defense contractors, but they're not in your corner.
Steal our vote. When I am governor, we will drag that back out into the sunlight, and we will close every single loophole that allows them to cheat. We're not going to let them cheat anymore.
Yeah, we can't let them cheat in dishonest elections. Guys, it doesn't matter who you vote for. You vote for any politician. Anybody who goes to the White House becomes a figurehead puppet, doing and saying and writing the policies that the big pharma industrial complex, that the military industrial complex, that Israel wants them to write. They are puppets dangling on a string. When you cast your vote and you support them with your money, you're actually supporting the chains of your own enslavement, and you're actually applauding tyranny as you play for Team Red and Team Blue. And the only way we can get back to a semblance of freedom is to, number one, realize that and do a complete about face. Well, what's the answer? You get rid of the criminals. If you had crime going on in your neighborhood, what would be the answer? For everybody to band together, arm up, train themselves in self-defense, and then when that criminal does his criminal acts, take them down. Right there. That's the answer. That's the answer on the local level, on the state level, on the federal level.
The 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Cult of personality. Cult of personality.
About the big lie. They're the big lie. But the fake news and the lamestream media refused, and they refused to talk about it. They continue to refuse to talk about it. They say, while it is unsubstantiated and the big lie.
Hey, Trump, how come your administration signed off on red flag laws? Like Dan Crenshaw did. Dan Crenshaw was like, hey, red flag laws aren't enough. We need to do red flag law 2.0 and put this baby on steroids and do the TAPS Act with Brian Babin from Texas. TAPS Act, red flag laws, bump stock bans. Oh, we have to do this to keep people safe. I like take the guns first, due process second. Father the vaccine says.
The big lie is a lot of bullshit. That's what it is. Because they're in the pocket of the radical left Democrats, the same people who are destroying our country, and they're destroying our country. Come out, and is coming out very big in the great state of Arizona also. The American people deserve answers. The January 6th rally.
Yeah, they deserve answers. Okay, so then I have a couple questions. Why, before you left, didn't you pardon Julian Assange, Bradley Manning, Edward Snowden? Why'd you mess around with these piddly little things? How about Schaefer Cox and a whole bunch of other people that we know are innocent that you could have pardoned and you didn't? How about everybody during the January 6th insurrection? Why not before you left? Why didn't you just go, you know what? I'm releasing all you guys. You were on my side. Didn't do it. Stab in the back. Betrayal. So I want to just get back to this right here. Either you're for freedom or you're not. Either you can tolerate somebody who has a different opinion than you, or you can't. See, what people should do here is walk up to this lady and go, hey, if you're a reasonable, rational person, let's talk to you. Trump lost Arizona. First of all, everybody on both sides, this woman right here and the people on Team Red actually believe in the validity of voting, that it actually means something when it really doesn't. So now you've got your starting point is both of them are out to lunch. On the same, they're both actually playing for the same team owners. They're on the same side and they don't know it. They think they're on the opposite side. And now because the people have put this false dichotomy in our way, because they've given us a false choice of, hey, it's Team Red or Team Blue. There really is no other choice. There really is no answer to put America on the course that it's supposed to be on. All these people are buying into it. And now they're operating on the same exact plane. And until they get off that plane, nobody can help anybody out of the quicksand since everybody's all mired, eye deep in it. So leave your thoughts about this. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Okay, before you go anywhere, a lot of people have asked me if they can get a shirt from the store with the design on the back. Let me show you real quick what you can do within the store as far as self-editing your own design that you can put on any shirt, hoodie, mug, phone case, whatever. Pick out any design from the store, then select any item. And guys, there are hundreds of items to choose from. Hats, beanies, bags, buttons, men's items, women's items, stuff for kids, and even pets. I'll just select this shirt right here. You can change the item color to whatever you want. Hit this little pencil editing tool right here and then click on Customize. You can enlarge, shrink, or reposition the design on any item. You can also click over here to the left on Designs and add any design you want. Matter of fact, you can put as many designs as you want on the front or on the back of the shirt. Or you can click on text and add some customized lettering. With the lettering, you can change the font color, increase the size, and you can even bend the text. And check this out. If you want a design or lettering on the back or on the sides, just click on where you want your design or text, Click on the design or text tool, or you can even upload your own design. It only increases the price of the item a couple bucks. And you can do this on any item that you select. The store link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Your purchase gets you a kick-ass design and supports the channel while it helps me create more content. Leave your thoughts about this video for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below.